Yo, welcome back to Just Kicking It. My name is Soy. I'm with the homie
Polo Show.
And yeah, this is Just Kicking It, episode 40. We're on 40 already, which is that's crazy. Yeah. So, first things first, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification. We're going to be moving pretty soon here, but that is behind the scenes. And then we also got, so if you're on Spotify, make sure you follow. If you're on Apple Music, please give us 5 stars. It really helps out. Please rate and say, hey, this shit is fire. Thank you. That'd be sick. And also, we are artists first. So I have a lot of new music on the way. But right now, if you want to find me on Apple Music, Spotify, any of those, look up On the Search for More and Soy. And you'll find the album, and then you can click my name and follow. That'd be awesome. Shosho, you got some...
Yeah, so I just released a new single. It's called Get Money. My artist name is Polo Show. So find me on all streaming platforms, Polo Show. Give me a follow on there. Download my new single, add it to your playlist, run up those streams. Please and thank you.
Absolutely. Oh, shit. Shit. My bad, dude. It's not COVID. It's just, I'm just coughing. I smoke. So without further ado, let's start the show. Global, as always. And for the first topic, show, we got surprise, JBP podcast. Rory and Mal missing? What's going on?
Damn.
Shit is weird. So do you want to explain it, or do you want me to?
I don't think I have enough context, but I just feel like it's, at least from what I know, I used to watch the JBP podcast like every week. And I just watched it like, I would always like, it was always reliable for hip hop news. And there's still definitely a respected platform in the hip hop community for hip hop news. But I always just had a problem with how like Joe Budden would like treat his business partners, / longtime friends, like on air on this recorded podcast, and it looks like that stemmed into a whole other stuff, so I guess you could elaborate on that. Sure.
So I'll start by saying I am a longtime listener. I started listening to them. They had a review of Views, and it kind of went viral, and where Joe was basically saying it's trash. Since then, he has now walked back his comments and admitted Views is actually a great album, which I agree with. I loved Views then, I love Views now. But that's another discussion. So I have history. So this is not coming from a negative place, just to preface everything. Basically, like Shosho was talking about, the past, I don't know what you'd say, probably like 2-3 months, something like that. There's been a lot of weird energy. And people were kind of starting to catch on to that in the comment section. The comment sections of any YouTube channel, the best thing in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
Whoever's commenting these fire comments, like sometimes like you'll watch a video and it's like a minute long, but then you go to the comments and read the comments and the shit is hilarious.
Yeah, they just go. I was gonna say, man, just on a side note, have you ever seen? I saw once where there's like this one, like Jocko Willink, they always have like running jokes with him, like because he's just like such a badass. Like they always like, yo, Jocko wakes up his alarm or shit like that. And so I saw this one on one of his videos where someone had commented whatever it was, and then the comment right under that was like, so video on this date, comment this person, this is the account that you copied this from. And all the comments after like, no, don't do him like that.
Those are the worst.
Yo, that's so savage.
That happens so much though. Like when you see a comment, I've read this before on another video.
I was like, this fucker, you could have just disliked this comment, but you went like, I'm gonna shame.
Put him on blast. Everyone's like, damn. Yeah, that's funny on that. I love when like There's always like, it's like a subreddit on Reddit. Like it's like the comment section on YouTube is so funny. Yeah, so basically the fans kind of started picking up on it, and then a bunch of things started happening. So it kind of happened around the time the Spotify deal fell flat and Joe destroyed his relationship with Spotify. They don't even post his podcasts on Spotify anymore. So congratulations. Like,
I mean, that was them. They chose that though. Like they said, they asked not to do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they said don't. Like that's why they put it out everywhere else but Spotify, because
I think that's such a big platform. Like, why wouldn't you want your podcast to be like everywhere?
I think the stem of it, he says it wasn't money. Like that's what he famously says, but it was money. And I think he was just bitter. Like it was really like, I remember him saying something about how like they didn't get a bonus, even when they saw that their numbers were doing better than projected. And they now like, all right, then Spotify said, all right, you guys can get some watches. You can have X amount, go get some watches, but it can't be this watch, this, you know what I mean? Like they just kind of almost made it seem like, what the fuck? And it was around the same time that they signed Joe Rogan, right? Mm. Joe Rogan signed, and it wasn't even coming on immediately. It was like you're signing and you're coming on like later on down the year. But he signed him for $100 million, right?
Right.
And so I can imagine like for Joe Budden, who's like, we're the voice of the culture, we're killing this podcasting game. And here you are, like you're signing this guy. And granted, Joe Rogan is that dude, right? You're signing him for $100 million. It seemed like, from what I feel like I was just getting to know the podcast at the time, Joe Budden's podcast at the time, but it seemed like that was what it was about, was like Spotify was not showing him, because they were exclusively with Spotify, right? Like you couldn't get, it would, right? Is that how it worked? It would come out on Spotify.
It would, I think they would still, I'm pretty certain they would still do YouTube, but they weren't posting on like Apple.
Yeah. So it was, if you wanted to listen to audio of the Spotify of the podcast, you could only listen to it on Spotify. So there was an exclusive deal like that. And so it was, Joe was like, the podcast keeps increasing in value. Our voice keeps getting bigger. And obviously like Spotify wasn't trying to reflect that financially. And yeah, I think that's definitely what it is, because even after they left, I watched the first couple episodes and it wasn't on some like, all right, our contract is up. Let's part ways. It was on some, every time he got the opportunity to be like, shout out every other platform out there except Spotify, like
I feel like that's just dumb though. Like he did the same thing with like Shady. Like he kind of shit all over Eminem after it's like, why would you, like there's people, I'll do some real life examples. So there's people in my life where I've worked for certain people and we didn't end things on the best terms, but I didn't break the bridge because unfortunately, this is the world we live in. You never know when you might need a favor or you might need to like reach out to that person and be like, hey, like I need so-and-so, like, can you help me out? And then because you have a good relationship with that person, you can that's called networking. And so I feel like doing that is like counterproductive, but this is like a whole other discussion, but it kind of ties into what the overall thing is. So what happened, long story short, what happened was they didn't drop a podcast on Wednesday. I listen almost every week. Sometimes I don't listen to the whole thing, but I do listen often, even though it's been getting weird. And they didn't drop a podcast last Wednesday. And it was strange because usually they like say something or like you kind of get notice of like, hey, we're taking a break. They didn't say anything. So then they drop another podcast with two random people that I know who they are because one of the guys is on the podcast in another way, kind of behind the scenes. And then another guy's like, he's just friends with Joe and he's kind of just been, I just know who he is.
Right. He does like some kind of production thing. Like he's usually there. He's just not on camera.
And both of them are really talented and pretty funny, to be honest. Like they're good guys. So I'm not here to shit on them. But the thing is, Rory and Mal were missing. And so when Joe got into it an hour into the podcast, I had to fast forward. I'm like, come on, give me the juice. I want to hear. I don't want to hear this whatever, like dancing around. So we kind of got into it. Basically, Rory has been saying things like there was this moment where Joe was talking and Rory was like, hey, I'm going to fight you. And he seemed really serious. And Joe was like, hey, I don't want to fight my friends. And then Rory said, well, what if we're not friends? And I think he really meant that. And so Joe went back, listened to the podcast. He's like, hey, that's not cool. So he basically called Rory. He's like, hey, man, like, I don't know how that discussion went. I'm sure it didn't go how he said it went. I'm sure it was like, no, you can't come to the pod. And Rory's like, what the fuck? This is my podcast too. And so that's what I think happened. But he says that he's like, whatever, can't come. So then Mal gets there, and Mal, in Joe's words, is an honorable guy. And he stands up for his friends. And Mal is actually a good friend. And so Mal looks at Joe and he's like, who do you think you are that you can tell Rory not to come on his own podcast? And so then Mal didn't come. And so now they're both kind of on strike, whatever. And so all that said, I think, so then I listened to the podcast after that where they still weren't on. And the whole thing was them basically telling the fans that they don't know what they're talking about. This is not about money, and that Rory and Mal are going to probably be back. And I think that's all lies. I don't think any of that's true.
They haven't said anything, right? Like both Rory and Mal have been quiet since, right?
Mal tweeted, he said something along the lines of like, there's no like price tag for respect or some shit. Like he's just like, he's the type of dude. And I want to say this because Mal's like, it's really cool that he did that because I don't think, Mal, they are tied very closely. Every one of those guys has their own thing going on. But the reason this is important news is because the show itself, the podcast, is really, like you were saying, like it is really a staple in hip hop now. And just to see this crumble, by the way, I do believe it is Joe's doing, and I do believe it is because he has a ego problem. You can't tell me otherwise, seriously. Because the way he was describing it, it was like, man, you still sound like you're almost blaming them. And it's like, there's no accountability. And I don't know, dude, you said you saw this coming. You were kind of telling me,
yeah, man,
a month ago about this.
I was like, I would follow it. At least I was for a while there. I was tuning into every like Saturday one. And I loved how I would be getting the news, but like, I just felt like that was really what it was. Like what you're saying it is, Joe, like his name is on the podcast, right? So it's like, there's definitely that attitude of, whatever it is, whether it's just ego, but mainly it's just disrespect towards his co-host, right? Like they're Rory and Mal. And sometimes it'll just happen in the form of like just an out of context joke, you know what I mean? Like it's like they're having a conversation. He'll just like, it's almost always it's if they try to like, try to make fun of him, almost always it's like a defensive guard. It's like, I don't know. It just came out. I was just watching like, man, this is toxic to watch. Like I was just for a while there, I was like, this is getting pretty like, this is not healthy at all to be a part of this. Because that was just the core of it. That's the core of why I stopped watching it. Was like, I'm about the hip hop news. We're doing it. But it was just, it was just clearly disrespecting the guys. And he was doing it on camera, and it was like, it was in such a way that, he would put them in positions where they wouldn't be allowed to like rebuttal, it would make them seem unprofessional if they were to be like, yo, you know what I mean? The fact that it got to that point where it was like, I forget what you just said, like with, Joe being like, let's fight to Rory Rory's like, let's fight. And Joe's like, I don't fight my friends. You know what I mean? It almost seems like the conversation had to get to that point where, Joe was still all like joking around until you realize, oh shit, this guy's not fucking around. You're like, this guy, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know how to describe it. It definitely isn't an ego thing. It definitely is a big-headed thing. I don't know if it has anything to do with money, but I do know, like, I don't know if this is coinciding with the, you know, when Rory was having beef with academics. I don't know if that's still ongoing.
Oh, it's always ongoing.
Yeah. So I just felt like, you know, academics and Joe have this background together, you know, have this history together. And here, and this is you know, like academics is like, I don't really follow academics like live anymore, but if this is ongoing, he's doing this every night. I'm sure as we speak, he's about to go on live and talk some shit about Rory and Maul, you know? So like, this is what he does, you know? So I'm just like, there's countless times. I remember when at the heat of it, when it was leaked, when the night that academics went live and said like, yo, I'm about to expose Rory. You know, he has another girl. He basically made it seem like he's about to expose him and he's hiding the secret, but he gave it all away that night, right? Like, and like we didn't hear from Rory for a while. He had to take a break from the next episode, right? I just felt like Joe could have addressed it, you know? Like I felt like, man, it's like, as someone that knows academics, you know, like I remember even when like academics had come up in one of their topics and the guys were like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know. I just feel like
a lot of things are at play.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things at play for sure. But yeah, for the most part, I think that's really what it comes down to, is that there just needs to be more respect for his co-host. I saw an article that basically just transcribed, you know, the 45 minutes into the episode. So I didn't actually like watch the episode, but it was like just basically I read what he said about the situation. And yeah, like you said, I was like, it doesn't really seem like any remorse, you know. It just seems like, you know, he's just trying to appease the fans. He's like, yo, everything will be back to normal soon, you know. I'm like, can't really, and you know, he was like, no beef, you know what I mean? There's no beef here. It sounded like Trump almost when I was reading it. I was like, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I do hope that it like they solve whatever the issues are, because man, it's like when Joe left Everyday Struggle. It's just like, damn, bro, like this was so good. Why would you, come on. And then the show was never the same. And it's like, I can't see this show surviving because the reason that it is where it's at is because of the camaraderie. The reason that it's where it's at is because of the strong relationship that he has with Rory and Maul and Parks. And so
he'll also be shooting like 3 points, like
dude, he's killing it. He's the only one that's gonna be real. And so yeah, I don't know how this gets solved, because
I think Joe needs to fucking like be a like, and it's like when I'm saying it, I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Joe needs to like drop his ego, you know, like be like, call these guys up. They need to sit down.
He is ego.
Exactly. Have this conversation. You know what I mean? Like, because that seems like what it is. It just, yeah, it doesn't seem like he's down to hear them out or negotiate or whatever. It almost seems like, hey, why are you guys not coming back to work? You know, we do this every Wednesday. What's happening here? You know, and it's kind of like, that's almost where that's what I got from what I read. It was almost like, don't worry, like everything is gonna get back to normal because this is what we do. It's not like, yo, we're gonna fix things. Everything's gonna be fine. You know what I mean? It wasn't it's not what you think it is, but I don't know. It was just being extremely vague, and you just knew something was up, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't know. So what's this you're talking about like them insulting the fans?
So they got into the discussion about the Spotify's and all that stuff, and then they were basically saying like people are they're making these accusations of Joe, and he's kind of addressing everything, and he's kind of denying everything that all the fans are saying. Where like in the comment section, they've been roasting these guys. It's pretty funny, but they're insinuating like they're not paid enough, and Academics has addressed it. And as we know, Academics, as crazy as that guy is, he is very honest. So he's going to give you the God honest truth, whether it's nice or not. And he's brought up the fact that they're getting salaries that are trash. And Joe's doing all these deals that are like kind of just for him. And he's making all these moves that, you know, he talks about ownership and then he partners up with Patreon and kind of signs a deal.
I saw recently that in the comments, and again, I don't know how much you can take from the comments, but what I got from the comments is like, Joe treats the girls' podcasts a lot better than he treats Rory and Mal. You know, because there's more podcasts on there right now, right? Like there's See the Thing Is, and there's another girls' podcast, and I don't know how their splits work or whatever, but I think that's the thing, right? Like it's part of. I don't know. The guys might just be feeling away. You know, they're seeing if Joe is the person that's supposed to be making sure that everyone's properly compensated, and the guys feel like these new podcasters that just came on are having a better deal than them. And again, this is us assuming that it's money, right? But people might just be speculating in the comments. But I don't know. I think it's if it's like because we kind of know their personalities, you know, Rory and Mal, you know, they're not the kind of people that would just like you said, they've been doing this podcast every week, twice a week for a while, right? So they wouldn't just up and do this. So it's kind of, you know, Joe kind of made it seem like, oh, it's not a big deal. And, you know, business will be back to normal pretty soon here, but it's kind of like, you can tell like it's something more. And so it's not just gonna, you know, I don't think it's gonna be a next week. We're just gonna see them back on the couch. You know, there really has to, if for this show to continue as we know it, like there's going to be some changes made. Like, you know, there's going to be some compromises. It sounds like that's what this is. There's going to be a serious, like some serious negotiation, some serious boundaries put into place. I remember one episode where the beginning of the episode started, and this was one of the last ones I watched, and Mal, you know, he's like sitting on his high chair looking all fresh and shit. And Joe says something like, he like looks over like, Mal, look at you in that like hat, and Mal's like, what? You know, and it was just like, it was almost like, Joe was about to take that into some, you know, was about to start making fun of him. Or, you know, sometimes he always like brings up something like, how's your dating life going? He always asks these like weird, uncomfortable questions. He was about to take it down like one of those holes, and just the way like he responded, just shut it down so quickly. And it was like, damn. Like that's
joke around right now.
This is the start of the episode.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that makes the podcast good is when it's almost like when they get into these discussions about shit that doesn't really it kind of revolves around hip hop, but they have these really funny discussions about each other and they clown on each other. So now that they can't even do that, it's kind of just like, it's just awkward. It's just like, I don't even want to watch this. But yeah, I'm hoping for the best. Any other final thoughts?
I'm hoping for the best from this as well. I do, at the end of the day, enjoy their podcast. A lot of great content from it. You know, like it is well respected in the hip hop community. So, you know, even if they don't want to do this from themselves, like they owe it to the culture to like patch the shit up and make it work.
Yeah. All right. On to our next topic. We got Sweetie. So shout out to Sweetie. Basically, there was a video, it kind of resurfaced. I've never seen this before. It resurfaced 4 days ago, something like that. Basically, it was her on Ebro, Hot 97, which is a great radio show. I've been watching their interviews for a long time. I enjoy not most of it. I enjoy some of the interviews they do. But Ebro is a pretty honest guy. And so Sweetie went to the station and she was like, hey, I got to rap for you. Like, you got to let me rap. So he's like, okay, let me hear you rap. And I don't know when this happened, but I think it was early in her career, because to be totally honest, and I'm trying to be as nice as possible, it was not good. And Ebro kind of told her that, and it was like, hey, this is, that was bad. Yeah. You need to improve your delivery, improve pretty much everything. And so she tweeted out recently, I have PTSD from that freestyle, which I could imagine like that'd be really hard to hear. But I feel like that's something that I feel like that's something every artist should hear at some point, that you're terrible. Because honestly, when you start rapping, you think you're the illest. Like I remember rapping and writing stuff, and I would rap it back to people, and they like it was terrible. It was just the worst. Everything was bad. Now she wasn't that new, and but yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was so funny how like they had said like, "Yo, the rapping is bad" or whatever, and she kind of stopped for a bit, and then she continued, and they heard her out for a bit, and then like Rosenberg and the other one where you're like, yeah, it's not good, like she just kept like spitting, and I was and just her tenacity made me like, you're gonna land one bar at least. You're like
something's gotta hit, something's gotta stick. Yeah.
No, it was just like they just kept emphasizing what they were saying. So yeah, but with that being said, it was my first time seeing it as well. And like the Sweetie I know, I mean, she's not like the best female rapper in my opinion, but like the Sweetie I know can rap better than the Sweetie I saw in that video. So it was like when I was like, oh shit, this is horrible. I wouldn't say horrible, it's terrible, but she's definitely way better than this. This must be a while.
Way better.
But yeah, it definitely was funny. Just watching that happen. And then, yeah, a video that was suggested in the comments was Iggy Azalea's Sway. Sway in the Morning. If you guys haven't seen that, is along the same lines. Basically, T.I. pulls up to Sway, OG radio host, he's seen all the legends spit. And, T.I. pulls up with his new artist saying like, yo, it's my new artist. She's next up, talking all this shit like you would with your new artist. And I remember it's so funny because like Sway's like, all right, you gonna freestyle for us? And she's like, hey, she's like, all right. And then like he like talks to the DJ, she's like, you got a beat? And she's like, a beat? Like just, her voice is like he's just like panics, like a beat?
Oh, poor Iggy.
And then she opts to like actually do the freestyle without a beat, right? Like that's how that goes. And it's just you should just taking the beat.
Yeah, the beat might have saved you. Now that was a bad. No, if we're being really honest, that was terrible. That was almost disrespectful to Sway. He almost took off his hat.
At the end, Sway had to like clap and be like, "Oh, you had to be like." But that was like that
was an industry.
That's serious professionalism to complete.
T.I. sitting right there, clap.
T.I. was not in the shot at the end of the video. It's
he went back to the studio.
This is not the verse you told me you were gonna spit in the car. Like,
if you had to choose one, which one would you say is better?
Yo, I mean, that's why I'm bringing this up because that one was bad. That one was bad. Like Ebro's reaction was almost like she came and was spitting that. And you know what? The reactions. That's another thing. Iggy needed the reaction Ebro gave to Sweetie.
Yes.
That probably would have improved her career. Like as opposed to like Sweetie, if a Sweetie was at Sway and Sway, like she'd spit that same freestyle and Sway, dapped her up at the end, she probably still would. Nah, she probably wouldn't. They would probably be in the same place. So at the end of the day, the tough love that Ebro gave is the way to mold, is the way to skill.
I would, yeah. And I'm sure that she took that, and that is hard to hear. Especially she was on at the time, so she wanted to freestyle, and so she thought she had the fire.
That's so what I'm saying. Like, man, like she was literally like, they were literally like trying to like, nah, man, these bars are on fire. They were pointing, all the bullet points of everything, and she just kept going even harder. You just like, you saw her like, I was like, oh shit, like. I was like, come on, girl, you're gonna drop a bar now. Like, this is
Nah, she's way better now though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's not a lyricist, but she's a great like pop rapper. She makes really fun music. I don't listen to it really, but I'm sure she has an audience, right? So
I think that I know you said that not to be disrespectful, but that sounded so disrespectful. You're like,
I didn't.
like, yeah,
I gotta be
great audience. Like she's got an audience, right? Like,
fuck, I didn't even think about it like that.
No, but she definitely, I don't know, like definitely in my eyes, as she's obviously a beautiful, really attractive young woman, and that's no doubt helping her out in the industry. But I also feel like if she is trying to be taken seriously as an MC, definitely coming in the game and then dating Quavo, you know what I mean? Because that's really all I've known her for the last couple of years. Like
that's how I discovered her.
This, you know, has been being Quavo's girlfriend. It's not been about music, you know. It's been about that role, you know. So yeah, I just think yeah, this is a fresh opportunity, obviously, for her being out of this relationship. What was even the context of why she tweeted that? Like, just
I don't know. I just saw it. You know this is how I get my news show. Let me tell you, I was on YouTube and I saw the headline and I was like, oh, clicked the headline, saw the tweet, oh, and then I watched. I was like, let me watch the freestyle. Found the freestyle and then I sent it to you and I was like, that's the news.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, I just feel like if she is trying to take her rapping career seriously now, like if she is trying to like continue on this path, then
now you're disrespectful.
Well, then yeah, these are the. I just feel like she's in a good position right now. You know, she's no longer in the relationship. You know, I don't know why she's bringing up this PTS. Maybe it's just to like show people like, hey, like this.
Maybe someone sent it to her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's just to show people like, yo, this is what I was doing before, right? So I feel like it's a good look for her. Not to be disrespectful, but like, yeah, this is definitely a good point in her career to actually, you know, take the game by storm, right? Like, because like that's I feel like it's definitely a good summer. It's a good year all around to be a female rapper. You know, like you're on the charts, you're killing it. This is probably like the best time in history to be a female rapper. You know, up until this date, like for real. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Word. Oh my God, bro. The transition was about to be, all right. I'm not going to say it. Because then you know the next topic. And this is what I was going to say, but I don't want to get hate. I was going to say, speaking of female rappers. Lil Nas X drops new music video.
I definitely told you, man, we should definitely try to like red flag ourselves when we come to this topic.
I know. It was too easy though. I had to take it.
It was right there.
No. I'm just kidding. Actually though, like the next topic is Lil Nas X. He dropped a music video, and after it was done, Shosho was like, "Yo, music video of the year, yo." Shosho was going crazy. Tell us, bro.
Yeah, no.
Tell us about the video.
No, I watched it, and I guess I was just still trying to get the list together or whatever. So I was just like, I just didn't register what I watched until afterwards. And after when I sat down, I was just thinking about like what the collection of everything. I was like, what? What just happened? Yeah, it's just like in hindsight, I was just.
Yeah.
Isn't his like demographic like kids?
Yeah, man. So with that being said, what'd you think of the music video, bro?
Oh man, it was super weird, bro. It was super weird. Like I was just like,
clearly Satan.
Obviously, the lap dance for Satan at the end was like
didn't see that coming. I can tell you.
The cherry on top. Like if you weren't sure if this was a weird video prior to that moment.
That definitely solidified it.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. But in the beginning, when he like saw this alien version of himself and pushed that version to the ground and started like kissing on himself, like that also let me know like, oh, okay, this is not your regular music video. And then yeah, just like it was a journey, right? There was a bunch of other stuff happening, but then it ended up there in hell. You know?
Dude, let me tell you something funny as fuck. So I watched the video, and then like I had a recommendation, and you ever seen those videos of like it's 2009, it's rainy, and you're in your room, and it's like a 2-minute video. It's just like ambiance of like that time. Mm-hmm. Well, it was like the same thing, but it was like you're in hell in the bathroom, and Lil Nas X is playing in the background. I was like, who's listening to that? Who wants to be in hell?
That is someone's version of hell, bro. Like that's someone is sitting down in a 4-cornered room right now. The floors are hot, and it's just Lil Nas X playing, and you can't find the speaker.
What?
That is hell.
That is, dude. What the fuck? Yo. Nah, it was really, really weird, bro. It was super strange. And it creeped me out. I'm not gonna lie. Not because of like him, just because of the context of the video. Like him talking to Satan at the tree and then going up to heaven and then kind of stripper pole dancing back down to hell. Yeah, it was weird.
Right, there was a stripper pole thing happening, right? Yeah, man, it's like after it almost like a bunch of individual fucked up. I don't know, man. I'm just from when it began, and you know, there's obviously like clouds shaped like his head, and like he's in this Willy Wonka world. I was like, all right, they got a budget for this. And as it progressed, I'm like, this is just what happens when, you know, when the director hits you up and says, yo, what's your plan for the video? And it's like, yo, just you know. We don't need to write down the plan. Just come with me along for this journey.
Dude, for real. Nah, it was really.
I mean, This is definitely the kind of video that everyone's going to talk about, right? Like I saw a ton of headlines about it. I guess the next question is this, man. Lil Nas X came out of the gate, you know, whether an industry plan or not, with the biggest song in recorded history, you know. Billboard song. And so it's almost like people said with that, like, yo, he's gonna be a one-hit wonder. You can't have a career after you literally nobody in the history of doing music has had a song that big. How are you gonna follow up with this? You know, your career is just gonna be a downward trajectory, you know? And so I think with him being with a huge record label, you know, they've obviously, that was the whole point of signing for him was like, they've guaranteed him that shouldn't happen to you. You know what I mean? Like, you got this big song, it should just be up from here. You know, so we've seen this, like the Santa Claus music video, right? There was a Christmas one he did, right?
Yeah, that didn't hit.
Yeah, it didn't hit, but it was like, I just felt like the marketing strategy was like an extravagant, like music video. You know what I mean? Like, you can just tell the record label is they're trying to push it. And that's what I see here. I'm looking at this. Who the fuck? I just feel like no self-respecting director got a script for this and said, all right, let's go make this video. Like this was let's go to the fucking side and wing it. You know what I mean?
It was the Illuminati. And this is what you need to do for us.
Yeah, man. And the label was just like, just send us the bill when it's done. You know what I mean? Like, that's our fucking star boy. Whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely was not even, there was not really a story for the most part, man. I was just watching a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And at the end, I realized I was watching like, what do you call like one of those videos that like fucking Christian parents don't want their children to watch? Just, I don't know. Just.
That's definitely what this video is, though.
Yeah, just some real. That's exactly what it was. There was something else that happened. Was there like an Adam and Eve thing?
That was the beginning. So it was the whole thing was like a Bible reference.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like the whole thing, it seemed like it was just different chapters of blasphemy. Like, and then in the end, you connect it all together. Like you're like, I see.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know, man. It's I don't know what. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. And I suppose you're right. It is going to get a lot of traction. It already has. Like, it's already gotten going up in numbers. Like it's already getting people talking. And I think that was the point of the video. I just hope he's not actually like, I hope he's not actually worshiping the devil. Like, I'd say don't do that if I was, a human. But
I don't know what this means for his career. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't know if I'm I just don't know. I'm thinking to myself like, this just seems like a really desperate plea for attention. But you know what I mean? This is the the other summer I had the biggest song in the world. This summer I have the most controversial video. Like that's how we're gonna keep the ball rolling.
Hey man, the like you said, like the label's gonna try and get that success, so they're gonna do anything they can. And I think it actually is pretty smart because like there's a big market for like people, have you ever watched those conspiracy theories on YouTube? Have you ever gone down that rabbit hole?
Yes.
I would say majority of people that are on YouTube have gone down at least one time. You've got to have been like, let me just check out the Illuminati. Is this real? And then you go 4 hours later. You're like, I don't know what's real. But yeah. So I think they kind of just tapped into that side of YouTube of like what does this mean for, what does this mean for the kids? And, I don't think it's very good messaging for kids, to be honest. Just as far as the satanic stuff.
Yo, YouTube literally, because we're now living in an age where it's like, there's no more, like TV is really not a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Especially with the pandemic, it's like the internet is where it's at. And it's like, we've seen like, Cardi B's WAP, how that was damn near like softcore porn, but they put it on YouTube. And now we're seeing this, I think we're getting to a new era where like YouTube is going to have to like revise their like, whatever it is, their like, what is it? Like the
age restrictions?
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
Just be a bit more militant about it.
What exactly? Exactly. Yeah, man. This dude is literally.
This is for kids.
In his underwear, lap dancing on the devil. Like, like this is on your YouTube. You can share this with your 10-year-old friend. Like, this is fucking 2021, bro.
What the fuck? Yeah. I don't know. But I don't know if I have any more comments. Do you have any more comments? I don't know what else to say. It's fucked.
Yeah, I was just just basically that I feel like he's talented. I definitely remember when he came out with Old Town Road. I actually found like his SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That had the Old Town Road and all his other songs before that. And you could tell he was like one of those rappers who was just finding beats on YouTube and, getting off like melodic flows on. He actually had like a rap stuff, he just like hit it with that country shit. But I don't know, just from what I could hear from his SoundCloud, as bare as it was, I was like, this guy actually has talent. Like this seems like someone who desired the opportunity to, do music. And,
sure.
With the right resources, he should be able to make good music. I think he's allowing the industry, like I think he's allowing the industry to be like, yo, you're gay, right? Let's take it to the next level. Let's make this,
they're like using him. Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it. Like, but at the same time, this could have been his idea. This could have totally been his idea. But
maybe. I don't think so.
I can see this totally being the label's idea.
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's rap. We've never seen a rapper do a lap dance before. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck that director is. Not Hype Williams.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I hope that this isn't the label just puppeting this artist. And I hope that if this is the artist making these decisions, that, he finds himself again and, realizes, he has this great opportunity and, he doesn't go for this. Like if this, I feel like if he does like another couple more of these, like just, really the song is meh because that's really what this is. The song was meh. I was singing with that Santa song, the Christmas one. If he does another like 2 more meh, and then just it's really the marketing that's trying to carry the whole thing. That's Lil Nas X is done. You know what I mean? At this point, his name still has weight. He's still running off the Old Town Road buzz. That song was that big. But like the more you do this, the more you're tainting your name. The more you're the more there's now some Christian parents now that's like, I can't bump Old Town Road for my kid now because this is what a lot of Lil Nas X be doing on YouTube.
Yeah, dude. I watched I told you before this, but I'll tell the listeners. I watched a reaction video of like a Christian guy watching the video, and it was really funny because I don't know if anyone listening has been involved in like church stuff, but he just had the reactions that you would figure from like a super Christian person. And it was just like, it was extra funny. Cause he was like so offended, but, yeah, I don't know where he's going to go with this. I don't know what this song's going to do numbers wise. I would say to Lil Nas X, stay away from the serpent. Yeah, because kids are watching. But with that being said, that is it for global news. On to national news. Polo.
Yeah, so we definitely got some somber news in our national news. So in the United States, in Colorado, there was a shooting at a grocery store. For approximately 58 minutes, someone walked inside, a gunman, and just started terrorizing people. So 10 people died. People were injured, and I think they've arrested the guy now. But yeah, I think they said this guy has ties to ISIS. It's not really confirmed like what his motives were yet. But in the article I just read, it just said it's literally been over a year since the U.S. has had, well, there was another one in Atlanta recently, but it's been over a year up until these ones since the U.S. has had like a mass shooting, so actually locking down and COVID and all that actually did help with that. But obviously with this coming up again, obviously the conversation is coming up in the U.S. with do there need to be more regulations on guns? You know what I mean? And we're seeing obviously that the argument from both sides is people kill people, not guns. And, the other side is, yeah. So, yeah, man. I guess we just wanted to speak on it because this is news. It's something that happened. It is super fucked up. Do you want to add to this, man?
I don't know. I just encourage people to, pray for the families. Like, that's just like, I honestly, just for the listeners, I didn't honestly want to talk about this because it is so somber, but it is the reality. And it's just sad. And it's so unnecessary. And any loss of life sucks and is really unfortunate. Especially, bro, they were going grocery shopping. Like, come on. Like it just seems, it'd be scary to be especially in Colorado, just to be in Colorado and be like, well, like, what is safe? Like, you would have those thoughts, especially with the news. The news is fuck the news, man. They're so happy about this. Like, but just because they're getting ratings, but the overall point, I guess, I don't know. I can't say I have any solution. It's just something that's like, I don't want this to be the norm because it's like, this happened. And to be honest, I was like, damn. And my first thought was like, another? That should not be the thought process. It shouldn't be so normal, you know? And man, just like putting yourself in that position, just imagine waking up and you find out, you know, your mom went grocery shopping and got freaking shot by some piece of absolute, just a waste of human life. But, you know, I don't know. It's such a complex issue, man. Like, it's so hard to even be like, well, these like, it seems like everyone has an opinion, and it's like people are so set in their opinions, man, nowadays, where they just, it feels like you have to pick a side. But it's like, what if there is, like, there eventually is going to be a solution, because this, I feel like everyone at this point is just like, yo, this has to stop. Like, I don't know what it is that's going to get there, but it's unfortunate that this even has to be a conversation.
I saw that the NRA, is that right? National Rifle Association.
Yep.
Released a statement, you know, just saying like, you know, that there was something along the lines of there will come a time when we need to, you know, talk about regulating our guns and, you know, regulating persons who have guns, you know, but now is not the time. Literally, that was the statement, you know.
Man.
So it's I don't know. In my opinion, I just feel like it gets into a political conversation, but I truly believe that we don't have these mass shooting problems like that in Canada, you know, because the gun laws are straight up the opposite in Canada, you know. So that was already a case study to show, you know, that more regulations on the guns will actually decrease this stuff, you know. But I think it's in one of their amendments, right? Is it the first or the second?
The Second Amendment.
The right to bear arms, you know. So some people would die with that shit. Some people are like, you know, fuck that shit. I don't care how many people get shut up. Like, I need to keep my guns on me. And that's.
But the reason, to be fair, the reason that is even in the amendment is if the government is like tyrannical, that the people can defend themselves against the government. It's actually meant to be there because if the government starts like being oppressive, that people can start fighting back.
I guess, man, that's why I said like it comes into whenever it tries to, like, whenever a conversation has to be had about like how to solve this or move forward, it always turns into a political conversation, right? Like, it always comes down to like, no, we're amendments, it's my right, you know, all this stuff, all that stuff. But it's like the facts are shown, you know. I don't know, what is the gun law here in Canada like?
I'm actually not sure. I know it's not. I know it's way more strict than.
Exactly. You can't. I don't know anyone that just has a gun in their home like that. Is that a thing?
Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
I don't want to put them on blast.
Yeah.
Someone we know has a gun.
Yeah. All right. So.
And it's legal.
But yeah,
I know people with guns.
Yeah, exactly. But it's probably because you can have it for hunting, right? You can go out and hunt with it. So, but it's heavily regulated, right? You need to they need to know what you're doing with it. They'll know how many bullets you're buying, like all that shit, right? I was seeing like on the news, like literally, like if you buy from all the government issued like gun places, whatever it is, like they have to take down all your information and whatnot. But if you buy from a private gun seller, that dude just like they literally had a guy on the news and they were just like, yeah, you know, if the dude has a trusting face, then yeah, I'm gonna sell him some guns. I'm like, that's it. That's the regulation. I have to have a trusting face.
Yeah, you got it. There you go. Here's a gun.
You know, and I'm like, that is fucked up. You know, that's how fuckers like this get, you know, enter grocery stores with guns. You know, when the simple person of the fact that the person that sold it to you didn't ask, what are you gonna do with this? You know, that man, my first told a hunting lie. He wouldn't have said like could not have elaborately came up with a lie if he's never been hunting before. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just coming up with scenarios, but that is a fact though. The private sellers, like if you're buying from a government issued place or whatever, you have to do all this background check. You have to give them your license, all that stuff. But if you're buying it from a private seller, then yeah, you don't have to do any of that. That dude can just sell you a gun. That is crazy. That's a crazy thought.
Yeah. I don't know. I really wish I had like a more definitive stance, but it's not something I'm like super, super educated on. Like I know a little, but it's not enough to be like, here's my position, you know?
I feel you. Yeah. I feel like at the end of the day, it's not for us to even debate on, right? Like this is more of a
Absolutely not. It's just a horrific thing.
we're just acknowledging that this fucked up thing happened, and yet, I don't know what kind of prosecution this dude is facing.
You get death.
It's the worst. I mean, it's where you are. I don't know. Do they have that in Colorado?
And he's still alive. What the fuck?
Yeah. Super fucked up, man. Super fucked. But yeah, pray for the families. Pray for the families that are mourning. And yeah, let's pray for change, you know. Let's pray that those who have the power to make the change, necessary change, you know, their hearts are touched. But yeah, that concludes our national.
Word. Okay. On to local. We out that. We're back into not so sad. So in great news, my friend Polo Show has released a new a new song, called Get Money. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's a really great song. I did produce it and I'm very proud of the beat. And I knew when I made it, as soon as I made it, I sent it to Shosho because he told me his album title a while back. And so anytime I had a beat that was kind of like an inspiring type beat, I would send it to you. So yeah, I wanted to ask about the song, kind of some of your favorite bars from the songs and what the overall song is about, and then how people can find it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so song is a song that was produced by Soy here, and it is, you know, just a song about, you know, staying on your grind, you know. Definitely in my perspective, you know, being an independent artist and, you know, pushing until we make it to that point, you know, where we are, where we want to be, you know, where we've realized our dreams. And so, yeah, the hook is, you know, I just want to get money. And it's pretty straightforward, you know, I just need to get money, you know.
Why?
It's going to get me further. It's going to get me closer to my dreams and my goals, you know. I feel like that's really why I would need a major record label, is because they would give me money, right? Like they'll give me money so I can, you know, go and make crazy ass videos like Lil Nas X.
Don't ever.
But like, I don't have a record label, you know. Like we're independent. We have our own label, so that's why we got to get that money in so that we can be our own label and, you know, put it back into our creations, you know. And so I think I end the hook with spot me with the homies and we grind until we all paid, you know. And so it's not just a call for myself, you know, but it's a call for, you know, my team, like all of us to keep on this grind until we're all paid, you know, because it's not like, I think Benny said, you're not a boss unless everyone in your team eating. You know, Benny also had a recent bar. He said, put my team in position. Now I'm surrounded by bosses.
That's fire. Joe should listen to that.
That's how I see that shit as well. So it's kind of not just about me getting money, you know, it's about the team, you know, it's about the goal. I end the first verse saying, you know, can't wait until the day I say we made it, of course, going from hometown heroes to stadium tours. I feel like, man, we're already legends in the city, you know, or on the path to being legends in the city, you know, with everything that we're doing. So that's one thing. That's the inevitable, is taking over the city, and then the next stage is taking over the world, because then we're doing stadium tours. And then just I don't know what's after the stadium tours, like Super Bowl fucking arenas. But yeah, just taking it to the next level. So that's just kind of how I see it. Wanting to get money. Yeah, it's really. I reference Trayvon Martin in there. How he didn't get to live his life to the fullest. And just a lot of the when I was thinking about the song, Get Money, just the themes that were coming to my mind, was definitely Trayvon. Who people who don't know, Trayvon Martin was a young black kid who was walking home, and a dude who was was neighborhood watch. He wasn't even like appointed, he was a self-appointed neighborhood watch guy. Saw Trayvon walking back with his hoodie up, and he reached in his pocket to get like Skittles or something. He just walked back from Skittles, and when dude reached in his pocket, wasn't even a reach in his pocket thing. He just had the Skittles in his hand, and he got shot basically because dude thought it was a gun. And Zimmerman, the guy who shot him, is still alive and free. He won that trial. So I kind of just bring that up in the early part of my verse, just referencing just that harsh reality of life, that, racism is definitely real. And yeah, regardless, you still have to be about your grind. You still have to be about what you're about and getting it, So yeah, this is definitely a special track. I definitely really like it. I'm definitely excited to have it out. I'm excited for people to listen to it. What was another question you had for me? You said,
well, I was wondering about, like, you kind of explained most of it, but I guess you wouldn't want to give away any like plans you have for the future as far as how you're going to get that money, because we have things in the works right now that are inevitably going to get us to that next level. But did you want to elaborate on that? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, just scaling the business of being an independent artist, and running, Lifted Ones as a record label. And, just taking it to the next level, putting out projects, not just personally, but as a label, doing shows, expanding our media operations. Yeah, I am being vague because, yeah, I need to manifest it and have it in actuality behind closed doors before I'm like, all right, let me present it to you guys. You know what I mean? So
I guess you'll see it.
Exactly. You'll see it. I could talk all day, but yeah, you'll see us grinding.
Cole has a bar where he says, if they don't know your dreams, then they can't shut you down. So yeah.
Word. So yeah, you can find that song on all available streaming platforms. It is titled Get Money. It is off my forthcoming debut studio album, Determination, which will be out April 9th. So make sure to download it, add it to your playlist, run those streams up, follow me so that you don't miss the album when it drops.
Dope. Thanks for that, dude. And yeah, on to artist motivation.
Yeah, on to artist motivation. Let me just grab my book here.
Is it the Chinese Book of Idioms?
Yes. I don't think we read from that one in a while, man.
It's been a couple weeks. Wu Chang. Is that his name?
Wing Chun.
Fuck. I was pretty close.
Yeah. So Wing Chun is the fighting style. It's the style of Kung Fu.
Oh, right. Isn't that the author?
No, that's so the Wing Chun is the fighting style, and yeah, the originator of the fighting style, her name was Wing Chun, apparently.
Okay. Idiom's right. Okay.
I've read that one before. The most pitiful among men is he who turns his dreams into silver and gold. Or pitiful, there we go. The most pitiful among men is he who turns his dreams into silver and gold. What do you take from that, bro?
He who from silver and gold.
So let me read it one more time. So you and I just, the most pitiful among men is he who turns his dreams into silver and gold.
The most pitiful among men is he who turns his dream into silver and gold. So is that sacrificing your art for money?
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought that was. Yeah, basically, so crazy how that relates to what we're doing. But yeah, just, you have this dream, you have this life you want to live, and you can sell your soul, in figurative meaning, that could mean settling for a job you don't want instead of pushing to do what you want to do, or you know what I mean? Or even I even see it as like, settling in a relationship, when you deserve more for yourself, right? That's selling your dreams for gold. You're taking what you can get right now, when your dream could have been worth so much more if you didn't sell it. But I think you put it so very well. So what did you say again?
Selling, basically, taking the money over, like sacrificing your art for money.
Exactly. You don't want to do that ever. Silver and gold are dope things. Definitely want to have some of those in my jewelry collection when we on. But you don't want to sell your soul for the silver and gold. You know what I mean? You want to sell your passion, make money, and then purchase the silver and gold. So yeah, that is today's artist motivation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's funny how things just like work, Anytime there's an artist motivation, it always plays back into the last thing. It's very interesting. Like every time we do a podcast, there's always like an overarching theme that we're not even realizing that we're in that like lesson, But shit, this has been Just Kicking It, episode 40. Can't believe it. We're already on 40. That's crazy. My name is Soy. You can follow me at The Only True Soy, and find my music on the search for more Soy. You'll find it. Listen, it's fire. Shosho, you got some things you want to plug?
Yeah, so like I said, my new single, Get Money, just dropped. It's available on all major streaming platforms. So Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Tidal, iTunes, whatever. It's on there. So just search it up. My artist name is Polo Show. The song is Get Money. And my debut studio album, Determination, is on the way. So yeah, stay tuned.
Dope. Yeah, follow the Lifted ones, Lifted_ones. Make sure if you're on YouTube, you're subscribed and you hit that bell. If you're on Spotify, follow. If you're on Apple Music, give us 5 stars, rate it. I tried my best to do less squeaky chair. I haven't really moved that much, so I can't wait to stretch my legs. But yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.